Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, guys, gals and gentlebods. Welcome back to the shed. I have a confession. I bought an electric car. But fear not, it's not a full-size one. It's only a 1/18 scale remote control off-roader. A bit of fun, a toy. I'll give you a look at it. Right, so this is it. 1/18 scale four-wheel drive, ready to run trail vehicle. It is an FTX Outback Mini 2.0X, whatever all that means. Runs on 2.4 gigahertz remote control. It is four-wheel drive, and it is a mighty impressive little toy. And I hasten to add, it is a toy, and I'm just a big kid at heart, so there we go. It's a bit dirty and dusty because I've been playing with it. Just opposite my house is an old mining spoil tip. We just call it the Mount. And it's a great off-road venue for things like this. So it's a scale model, 1/18 scale model of a Toyota Land Cruiser, I believe. We'll whip the body off. Comes off just by pulling these four pins out. Like so, and then we can lift the body off, and there's the chassis. As you can see, it's quite grubby. I am absolutely amazed by this thing. This is the battery pack. It's a 600 milliamp hour battery pack. Tiny, and yet this car ran for over an hour yesterday, continuous across the Mount. And it tackled inclines up to 45 degrees, loose dirt, a few things stop it, very steep inclines, 40 plus degrees, and loose dirt on them. It struggles to gain traction, and deep leaf litter gets clogged up round the axles and stops it. So we have the ESC, electronic speed controller. That's the Wi-Fi, not Wi-Fi, it's the remote control receiver. That on the front is the servo that operates the steering. That's the gearbox and transfer casing, and if I flip it over you can see drive shafts to the front and rear axles. So if I just stick the battery back on it briefly, it does seem a bit chintzy, pinching one of Abe's words, chintzy, to secure the battery with elastic bands, but in fairness it only came off once yesterday, and that was after it had rolled down a 20-foot incline, and it rolled probably 15 or 20 times in fairness. It did take a battering and landed back on its wheels and carried on going. So switch it on, we've got red lights, switch the transmitter on, and we've got steering and full four-wheel drive. Proportional control, 85 quid or thereabouts. Huge amount of fun, and not really bad at that price. One mod I have done is the whole thing is very lightweight. It lacks gravity. How do I turn that round so you can see it? Right. The whole thing weighs 350 grams. That includes the battery pack, and it includes the extra gravity I added in the front wheels. The wheels are, those of you into RC cars will know the term beadlocks, and that's what these wheels are. All it means is that the wheel rim is in 3 pieces. There is the outer rim, the inner rim, and there is a centre piece inside. So that's the standard centre piece, plastic, which weighs, yeah, nothing. It's so light that the scale doesn't even register it. Rather than take a wheel apart, if I take the spare wheel off the back, which is a standard wheel with the plastic inner, that weighs in at 8 grams. This is a wheel that I've modified, and all I've done is replaced that with a brass ring. Same dimensions, but it's solid brass. 35 grams. Yeah, 34 grams. What that does is it helps to keep the front wheels down on the ground. When they do bounce, they don't bounce as high, and they come back down to the ground much more firmly, and it gains extra traction on loose ground. I've only done the front wheels. Perceived wisdom from the interweb suggests that only the front wheels need it, so that's what I've done for now. I may do some more for the rears. This is one of the problems I'm encountering with traversing the mount across the road, is there's an awful lot of leaf litter, oak leaves in particular, very deep in places. I'll show you a brief video from on board. I strapped a little GoPro style camera to the bonnet and did a bit of filming with it. It's a bit jerky because it's bouncing around. It's very lightweight, so it bounces around. So I'll only show you a minute or two of it because it'll make you feel sick otherwise. I don't think I'm going to get heavily into modifying it. There is a big modifying culture on these, looking at the interweb. It's just a bit of fun. I can have a play and play with the grandkids with them when they come round. There's an awful lot you can modify on these. You can get new ESCs that have got better speed control. You can change the axles for metal cased axles. You can change the suspension for actual suspension that's got dampers. Movement dampers is what they really are. We all call them shock absorbers, and they're not shock absorbers. The spring is the shock absorber. The bit we call the shock absorber is actually a movement damper. These aren't dampers, they're just guides for the springs to run on. But the suspension does work pretty well on it. I would imagine some true dampers would improve things to a certain extent. Anyway, that's about it. It's a bit of fun. It needs cleaning up. I'm going to have hours of fun over the next few months, I'm sure. And you never know, I might even do a follow-up video at a later date if I do decide to do any more modifications to it. Thanks for watching. I hope you found this interesting. and I'll catch you in the next one.